Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to TwoCrazyShuckers Creations. Let me adjust my camera here a little bit so it's a little more straight. Okay, so as you see in a short that we highlighted the other day, Rolio sent us a great little package for joining their affiliates, and I was really impressed with this 72 powder range and thought this would be great to do some excuse me, I've lost all train of thought right there, to do some hearts for upcoming Valentine's Day. And I have so many molds that are literally still in the packages. So what I thought we might do is take a look at ones I've never used, and then possibly, I really am in love with this. It's from the Chameleon colors. This is Baroque Mauve. I have no idea what it's gonna look like, but it's super pretty. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use this one. What I am gonna do is move all these molds over to this side of me so that I can get my lamp down. I'm currently loving working in my new workspace. It really came out so good. It's easy. So tonight I'm going to use the Let's Resin dual-sided lamp. And the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to try this two ways. Let's see which way cures better. The first thing that I'm going to do is get a brush, which means I gotta move for a minute. I'm gonna get a little brush. I've got one new in the package. And I know that I'm gonna need a little spoon to scoop out some pigment powders with, so I'm gonna give that now. So I think the first thing I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try brushing it directly into the mold. This mold is from, I'm sure it says somewhere on this mold. Bear with me just a moment and I'll get that for you. Oh, this is a HyggeMold. They are out of London. So they have a website. They're also on Etsy. It takes a little bit longer to get your molds from them, but they have a lot of pre-domed molds, which are really nice. And I do like their silicone. It's a nice, harder silicone, and they have a lot of variety. I have a lot of the molds that I haven't tried yet, and I need to. I'm not sure about brushing this onto this mold. I might have cleaned it first. I don't know. I'm going to try to burnish it in pretty good here and blow it out. This is going to be a very subtle color, but it could be interesting. Hold on, and I'll flip it over. I just want to make sure I get as much of it covered as I can. I'm going to put a little bit more on this one. I think that's the one that needed a little more. I apologize for the lullabies in the background. It's late at night, later at night, I should say, and I've just put my grandson to bed. So I thought it would be a perfect time to start a video. It may take me a couple days to get it finished, but at least it started. So there you have that. That's a really nice, subtle tone. What I am going to do is put enough in here that it will, we'll see it both ways. We'll just add it here, and then here Can't decide what I want to do there. Let me pick up these other ones because I'm getting this everywhere. The first thing I thought of when I opened it and I seen the reds and pinks, I thought they were great, like Valentine's Day colors. And even though they're not my first choice, they're really great. So I'm just gonna swish this brush off a little bit. And I'm gonna put this away. This set comes with several different colors, from Moroccan Rust, Luster Agent, that purple russet, Golden Olive, Viridian, interesting, and Gold Slip. So what we're going to do today is, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it into these, the first top set. And then what I'll do is, I don't know, I might use pre-tinted black from Let's Resin. This right here is just the regular Let's Resin UV, hard type. And as you can see, I don't have nearly enough. So before I use all of it out of the container, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more resin to that. This definitely has a black kind of shift in there. And I'm just going to get that as close to the top as possible without going over. The pre-domed molds from Hygge are great. So for these, where I brushed the color into the mold, I'm going to take some of the Let's Resin pre-tinted black UV. I feel it's a little bit safer than trying to mix your own black because it's going to cure more carefully. Oh, I might get out some pre-tinted resin too to try with these in the different colors. I don't use them often enough. And Let's Resin sent me another kit, like a jewelry starter kit. So we're going to be going over that very soon as well. But I really, when I was organizing all my molds, when I got our workroom all fixed up and I was going through each container, I was just in the mood to, I don't make a lot of hearts. And these colors are not my usual colors. So I still have a little bit of a dotting tool. There's a bubble right there that I don't want. I'm just going to pull that out because I don't know if that was a bubble or if it was actually something in there. As you can see, I didn't get all the powder out either because it's like laying on the back. And this one is a little over full. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull some of that out and kind of swirl that around. Now what I am going to do is bring this purple up on that one side. And I do see on the edge, I got a bit of a bubble there on the back. So I'm just going to go around this with a soft around edge dotting tool because I don't want to hurt my mold. Especially a mold from over in the UK because it's so hard now to get items from overseas. You know, all the stuff. I think it's all getting worked out, but now the black looks great. So I'm going to go ahead and get this up into my double-sided lamp. That's very important, especially when you're using dark colors like this. And I'm going to set it for a full 5 minutes. I'm also going to put my cup up there. I know there's a little bit in there I'm wasting. I'm sorry. And then we're going to take a look at maybe another mold. This is also a HyggeMold, as you can see. No, this is not a HyggeMold. This is a Crafty 787 mold. And it looks like a little heart lollipop. I do have this cute XO mold that is from LiveLoveAndGlittter. So with this, the mold isn't as stable. I like to use one of my, which I need to grab that, which I don't know where that is. The downfall, the down part to redoing your workroom. Finding everything again. I'm just gonna dig out one of these little acrylic blanks that I get at Dollar Tree. I think they're like a stamping blank. I'm not sure. The one thing I can tell you that I'm sure of is that they work really good for doing this. I need to actually get these out of here. It's called a crafter square. I'm not sure if they have them anymore. You know, they're redoing the whole Dollar Tree thing. These were $1.25, and the last time I was there, not much was still $1.25. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. I'm gonna put these in here. So I have a piece of double stick tape on there. It just kind of holds the mold in place. And then I think we're gonna go for a dual color. Creamy pink, berry sherbet, double peony, fandango pink, French rose, sweet rose. What are we thinking? Those look pretty cool. I'm actually more drawn to this red, this deep red. Oh, this burgundy and that would look pretty together too. Actually, I love that. So we're probably only going to need like literally, if you look on these medicine cups, which you can buy them anywhere, they have the mills on the side. And I usually go to about, for just these two little parts right here, you're probably going to need just literally like 1/8 of an ounce, maybe a half a teaspoon. These have everything. I think that's supposed to say grams. I don't know. Don't ask me. So I'm going to put the resin in first, just because I can kind of tell to go to that first line on the cup. And if I have a little bit, I've got an extra heart mold that I can make some heart studs out of. But I'm going to go with burgundy and sweet rose. Now, I do suggest if you have anything that's a longer stick like this for these bags, it's not a bad idea. I'm not sure even how much pigment it's going to take. I don't imagine it's going to take a ton. So we're going to go with that little bit there. Remember, we're working in a very small scale. And I am getting that everywhere. Okay, and then I was going to use the sweet rose. I'm going to move this to the side for a minute. And we will see how these do in UV resin. I'm always excited to try new products in UV, see how it holds up. But in the long run, mica is mica. It's going to have about the same reaction. But I do like having a variety of colors like this. So, I'm going to test my cup first. And that tells me that my resin... Oh, that went right in there. Boy. That was not a good idea. Oh, gosh. Okay. That hardened. That's all I'm going to show you of that for now. So let's get out our half-size sticks. Ooh, that color is super pretty. I'm not a red or pink girl. Not at all. Okay. I'm going to let those cure for another 5 minutes because we were working with black UV and then that dark purple, which was much darker than I expected it to be, if I'm being honest. So I think I'm going to do the X in pink. Going to make sure I get it mixed in very well. And it's a small amount, so it makes it easy. Then I need to clean this off. Live Love Glitter, she is on Etsy. If you follow her, she's on Instagram. She makes some great molds. And you don't have to get transparent. I get transparent because I do our jewelry predominantly with UV resin. But she does offer them at a reduced price in the colored molds. Like in the green. So I want to make sure that I don't overfill because I want that little heart to be hollowed out in the middle. Which I'm doing a terrible job at this point. But we'll clean it up before we harden it. Well, I hope this color cures okay. It's pretty dark. But I love testing the limits of UV. The great thing about these little molds is they're not deep. So if you put it on like a 10-minute cure cycle, you're not going to have any issues. But, and Let's Resin really cures well. There's no shrinkage. It has never yellowed on me yet to this day. And it does not ever get sticky again. Oh, that went way over. Okay, so I'm going to let that sit for a second. I am just going to come in really quick and just clean up that edge a little bit. Because I don't want to have all that mess in there. Now with this, I can see around this edge, I do have some spots of air. So I'm going to go around that little spot for the, where your jump ring is going to go. I hope you can see this okay. And I'm just taking very gently. I don't want to mess up my mold. Okay. I have the dropsies tonight. I do like the texture of that, I have to say. It's really nice. I just want to make sure my heart cutout is clear for the middle of the X. Oh, I mean the O. Sorry. She makes great 3 and 2-step molds that go together very well. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take this little stick out of here and I'm going to use my dotting tool to just put drops into a time. Kind of help it along. I think I got this mold last year. I did get one new heart mold from her when I purchased some Christmas molds for next year, after Christmas. Or actually it was close to Christmas. I feel like I'm so busy during the pre-Christmas boom that I don't get to see everybody's new creations for the holiday season. And you really have to, if you're a creator, you have to have your stuff done very early in the season, you know? So I do better using molds that I've had from previous years. And now that I have them more organized, I did not realize how many Christmas molds I had. But it gives me a lot more time to work on earrings instead of searching for the molds to make the earrings. Yeah, these colors look good together. I think there's a permanent link in our description that I keep her molds, her Etsy shop in, but I'll make sure of that before I post this. I do think that it is great to support other small businesses as much as possible. And I do like purchasing from other Etsy shops, you know, because I appreciate every sale in our Etsy. So I'm going to try to dome it just a little bit to save down on my work at the end. I'm not sure how that's going to go, but we're going to see. I do plan on doming these. I know they're small. I know it's a little bit of fussy work, but it's worth it. So I'm going to clean this little stick off just so that I don't drop it anywhere. Then I'm going to take this. This color is amazing. It's kind of like a, I don't know, like a really sweet candy apple red or something. Maybe not candy apple red. I'm not good with red colors. Ask me about blue and green. That's where my heart lives. Okay, so there you have it. I'm just gonna run this over. Make sure I'm not seeing anything along this edge. With hand cut molds, you need to remember they're not cut like your regular, you know, purchase off Amazon molds. They do have little imperfections. So you want to make sure you get around that edge really nice. Yep, that looks good. Oh, I can't wait to see that pair together. And while those are curing, went a little too far there. I am going to take a little bit, you know, where I brushed this on. I'm just going to clean the mold up a little bit before I demold it. You're probably going to hear my Resiner's air purifier kick on in a moment. Don't be alarmed by that. Maybe it'll cover up the lullabies playing in the background. Okay, so let me bring this up closer. So let's take these ones out first. This is the ones where I just mixed the Rolio metallic mica into it. It's fully cured, and that is really quite pretty. There is not a flaw in those. Now, I didn't do they're hardened. It does not hurt to put them back under the light for a few moments though, so that it can get fully cured. Those are really cute. Okay, here's the test. Oh, wow. It gave it like a brushed. Oh, that's a little wetness from where I cleaned the mold off. So there's the brushed Roleo pigment, and there it is mixed into the UV. See, this one's kind of, it makes it look a little bit more matte. That's super pretty. Interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and get this one out. That one looks good too, other than the wetness of, you know, me cleaning that mold up. So these are gonna be super easy because they're already pre-domed, you know? Oop. So that means all we'll have to do is put our gel coat on the back and then make them into earrings. So again, this is HyggeMold. They are based out of London in the UK. So I think the next thing I want to try and do is I'm going to see if I have enough for this Crafty 787 kind of, it's like a peace heart, a peace sign. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my dotting tool. Hold on. I got an idea. Let's take a cup and just kind of put a drop, I don't know, that maroon's probably going to overtake the lighter pink. A drop. Now I do think we're going to need a little bit more resin. So what I'm going to do is take the pre-tinted white and kind of swirl that around in here. Oh, I'm making a mess. Let's just see what happens. I'm going to put these cups in the light to cure. I'm going to clean this little stick off. And then, as I knock everything over, I'm going to take the white and just move it around in there a little bit. I don't think I'm going to do anything to it. I think I'm going to simply pour and see what happens. I'm just going to move it like that. I'm just swirling the cup. I don't know if I have enough. Or if it's going to give you the little marbled effect or not. I'm going to stop right there. Because at this point, I can go into this mold and I can add white where I'd like to fill it up a little bit. I don't know. We shall see. I'll swirl that around in a minute. I'm going to add a little bit more white in here. Just going to swirl it around. There's a bubble in there, but I think it'll be okay. Just going to let it slowly pour down. I don't know how successful this is going to be. I did have a pair of these in white and green, but they sold pretty quickly. People love these little, and I need to make more of them. The ones that I know are going to sell well. Okay, let me set that down. Let's add a little bit of white. I almost picked the black up. So, I can't decide what I want to do here. Do I want to leave it as is? Just take out the extra? Or do I want to make sure? Because when I move my stick around here, it's going to move this around a lot. I do have too much right there though. Kind of covered up the hole a little bit. I will have to re-drill these, unfortunately. Probably in that little hole area right there. Sometimes when you run the flame over it, it kind of brings that hole back out, which that's what it did today for me too, right there. These could be cute. These would be pretty in that purple and white. Okay, so our cups cured very well with the pink and the red. However, I'm going to put them back in for a few more minutes while I cure these for 5. And then I am going to get this little mold out, and I'm going to take whatever I can salvage out of this and make a little pink pair of hearts. I don't know if there's enough to salvage or not, but I don't want to waste that color. Let's see, I've got something down in this mold. I try to use a baby wipe on my molds to wipe them out. I find that paper towels are a little too abrasive, even for machine-made molds. So my goal is always to try and use a baby wipe. It's a little bit gentler, softer surface, you know, kind of thing. These little miniature hearts sell very well for little girls, so I'm going to make these. Try to get a few more pair made for the upcoming seasons. It's hard to believe it's all going to be starting again in just a few weeks. We already started filling out applications for our spring markets. I'm not complaining. I love doing markets. It's just so much work. So I'm just going to pull a little bit out of that one. It's got a little too much. And that is such a tiny amount of resin that didn't go to waste, but it will become a cute pair of studs for a little girl. So I'm going to put that up in the lamp. And then I'm going to think about the next pair I want to make, which I love these. This is new. This is the one I got at Christmas time. I keep these bags because I put the molds back in these bags from her. Let's go with Corazon Red. I am going to fill this to the second line, which is about, I don't know. I don't even know what that says. We're close to the 50 cc mark. Yeah, let's go with this red. I don't know. This French rose. And I'm not a pink girl, so it's really weird. I think I'm going to try this first. One pink I surely like is like a flamingo pink. Oh wow, that is very That is a very deep color. I don't need all of that. And I'm just going to wipe off my little, whatever this thing is called. Oh, that is really quite pretty. I don't think I'm going to keep it plain red though. I think I'm going to try to marble white UV resin in it. I am. But first, let's demold the XO. I like to stand up for the demold because I can get closer to the camera. So there's your like pinky blush color in your X. And then here is that. Oh, those are going to be super, super cute. I like it. Now, those are fully hardened. So I do have an air bubble there, but I'm not worried about that because I still dome. I know these are tiny and I know they have lots of extra holes, but trust me when I tell you, once you demold them, I mean, once you dome them, you just enjoy your earrings so much more. I am going to, I don't know if I should have done that or not. Let's see. This is about the color I'm going for. I may have to put a little bit more white in there as I pour. I think I'm going to actually I'm going to let it run down and I'm going to put it to the back. I'm just going to let it do its own thing, mixing together. See, now I've lost my swirl. Let's see what happens here. That red is going to overtake it. It's going to be like it was never there. Now, if I had used like a pigment paste, it probably wouldn't have done that. I'm not sure though. That's quite a hardy color. And the way the white mixed in, it's not bad. Is it perfect? No. Is it bad? No. Kind of looks like veining in stone. I'm not going to mess with it too much, but I do have to go around the outside edge to have the earring look the right way. You want to make sure you have no air bubbles around that edge. So I'm going to try to get a little bit more white right here to kind of dome this up in the back. And this is the part where we hope like heck that it cures. There were a lot of air bubbles in there. But it's looking kind of cool. Okay, so I'm going to put the XOs back in there, okay. I'm gonna stick these back in. And then, I think these are good and these are hardened. Let's see what these look like. Ooh. I love Crafty's molds. I love that I can turn it over and I can look at what I made. Let me stand up to do this. You can see where I put my tool through it. I'm not loving that, but they're cute. A little bit of resin on my finger there. These have a little bit of cleanup on the back, but there's no air bubbles. I don't know. We'll see. And I think I'm going to take the rest of this red and go with this larger heart stud size. There's my Resiners air purifier going off. It actually runs all the time. I don't just turn it on when I come in this room. It runs in our home all the time. It doesn't just purify this room, it purifies our whole home. And it is worth the investment. You know I love Resiners, so. Oh, I forgot about my little lamp too that they sent me. They sent me, you know, that new lamp. I've only used it one time, I think. Like I said, redoing your workspace, whew. It takes a little bit to get it to the way you want and then to get it back to where you can find things. And I have an unboxing for Resin Molds box for a 2-part epoxy. Did anyone here watch our 2-part epoxy, Mason and I's? That was fun. It was definitely a little chaotic, and it literally took me, I think, almost 4 days to get it done, and then the editing took me 3 hours. So it's definitely a little bit more challenging because it's not instant like UV. Now, these are perfect for little girls. It's the perfect size. Or for your second hole to wear. Oh, and we finished these with the sterling silver as well. So, yeah, those are cute. Nothing spectacular, nothing special. But it's a pair of earrings. So I think what I'm going to do is try one more set tonight. And then, this one's very sparkly. This double peony is grabbing my attention as well. Let me think of a mold we could do with that. Well, I don't know. Let me think. Here's a mold I haven't even opened yet. Let's give this one a go. Well, bear with me. Okay, so this is 2 sizes. This is a Crafty 787 mold. I think we're gonna do this in double peony, and I think I'm gonna go with the smaller size in these. I'm not gonna do anything fancy with any other colors. I'm just gonna mix it. I'm gonna fill this to about the 50 cc's again, which is about, what, a half a teaspoon? A teaspoon? Let me see. Let me see how close I am. A half an ounce is about 50 mLs. Okay. So I'm really curious about this. It shows me that even that dark color cured in the UV, which is amazing. I'm going to turn that back on for a moment though. And I'm going to get this pair made, and then I'm going to stop casting hearts for this video. And then I'm going to show you on one pair how we finish them. And we'll put one pair together. Oh, that's a really cool color. Oh, it looks totally different out of the bag. And then I'll do the rest on a fast forward, and then at the end I'll have photos of everything. Oh, that does look like those dark pink peonies. Oh wow, that is a really, really pretty color. This is not in my wheelhouse. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I am not a red girl, a pink girl, any of that. As you can see, I'm blue attire almost every day. Blue bracelets. I had forgot to change my watch band back to blue. But yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of digging these bigger ones. I think I'm going with the bigger ones. Change of plans. So what I'm going to do is pour it in one side and let it move on its own for a moment. Because the more you let it flow on its own, the less likely you are to have bubbles. Now hopefully I have enough. Because I was going to do the smaller size. Oops. Hearts sell well in our Etsy shop. They sell better on Etsy than they do locally, actually. But I'm going to try to get some up for Valentine's Day. Try. I'm going to try to do better this year of getting ahead of the holidays. So all I did was mix a little extra because I seen that I was going to run shy. So I added, I don't even know how much. I'm so sorry. Measure with your heart. It's like vanilla, right? You measure that with your heart. So that little bit right there doesn't bother me too bad. I'm going to let that flow because it'll get down into that little point so much better on its own. Crafty's molds are all handmade. She hand cuts them all. Keep that in mind. When you support her, you're not using a mass-produced item. She makes every one of them herself in her home. So there may be tiny things on the edge that aren't, she actually cuts them pretty precise. I actually was gifted by Bond Crafter some silicone, and I've really been contemplating working on a couple of earring designs for my, self. I don't think I will ever sell a mold, but I would like to make myself a couple of little things. For my own personal use. Now, as you can see, I got a little bit more in this one over on the right-hand side, my right-hand side. This one has more. So I'm going to take this in here and just do that. Take out a pretty good amount to get it out. Now, I do see down in the mold, because her molds are so clear, you can see the bubbles that have formed on the edge, which is amazing. I remember a time when I first started doing earrings, you could not find a mold maker in the United States that made UV resin molds. We had no choice but to shop in other countries. That was your choice. So I am seeing something there I'm not liking. I think it started to get hardened from the light. I'm going to let these sit for a moment before I harden them, because they have a lot of degassing to do. But as you can see, the cup hardened fine. Okay, let me get a new baby wipe. Wipe my hands off, wipe my tools off, just to make sure I don't have any resin sitting anywhere. Now, this pack of Rolio is their 72 colors sample set. I believe wholeheartedly in try before you buy. This is the perfect way to try colors without breaking the bank. And I believe these are 5-gram packages. Yes, they are. They're 5-gram packages. And the colors are phenomenal. I've already got mine color coded by what they go with. But look, that Arctic blue should be up here though. I don't know how we got back there with the purple. So this is me, right? Got to put it all together. It has so many different colors in it, so many different hues, and it does have this great little spoon that comes in it too, which I did not think about using that tonight. And when you're using UV resin, you use so little that this actually goes quite a ways. So think about reaching out, checking out their shop. I am going to just take a paper towel, a baby wipe. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down a piece of white paper and I'm going to put down each thing that's ready to be finished. Well, I guess these would go like that, right? The shine is completely different on the purples. There's that pair. There's this pair, which definitely needs a little cleanup on the back. I don't really mind the tool marks. Is it optimal? Is it perfect? No, but I do like the bits of white in there. Yeah, see, the back is more white. And you can always, if that's what you want to use, if you like this side better, go with that side. For me, I like this side better. Let's see what else we have in here. We have XOXO. Which when I'm starting, oh, I have an air bubble right there. I might have to redo those. Just that part. I might have to redo this whole set. I'm not sure. So let me get these out of the mold. Let me set these other ones down in the mold. So the one thing that I can tell you about when you mix the pre-tinted resin, UV resin, in with the regular UV hard type, you do get these weird kind of ridges in the back. Okay, so I have a pretty big air bubble right there, and that is not the shape I thought it was. Oh, that's it. Oh, that's what I wanted them to look like. So I have two different ones. Bummer. So you see those ridges? That's from the two different types of resin mixing together. Let me turn the other bigger hearts on. We're nice and solid though. Oh, those are interesting. I don't know if you can see that. We don't have any air bubbles. I'm going to stick those back in the light because they are a dark color. They were in not the most translucent mold. It's interesting what that white did. But that's a super cute shape. I'm disappointed in the XOXO. If I decide to remake that, I'm going to see if I can fix it. I'm not sure. I'm even more disappointed in this because that is not a pair of earrings. What I do is I hang on to all these little pieces, and you know, you may find a use for them. You may stick them on something, and now that we're doing more two-part epoxy, maybe it'll be something there. That's why I have two of them out now, I see. because you have to have that and that together to make a pair. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. So I think the pair we're going to finish right now is this purple pair. All I'm doing is kind of giving it the old squisharoo test to see how it feels as far as, sorry if my head was in the way, how it feels as far as them, you know, being squishable or not. I don't want them to be squishy. So as you can see, the hole was a little bit covered over. I'm just going to uncover that with my little tool here. It's just as easy to do it now as it is later. This one's fine, okay? So all I'm going to do, you can use the wipeable, not wipeable. You don't have to do this part. You can back coat it with resin if that's your choice. We prefer putting this on as a kind of a safety barrier for the skin. And it does kind of finish the back a little bit as well. Oh, I found so many things when we redid the room. I found so many things I want to make. It was hard to stay concentrated some days because I just wanted to make something. But it's done now. It was a very good investment and a really good idea. Hey, kitty, kitty. My cat is wondering why I'm in here talking to myself, probably. She's an outdoor kitty most of the time, but it's been pretty cold here in Tennessee, so she's been in a little bit more. I put quite a liberal coat on here. It takes 60 seconds to cure, and it just finishes off the back a little bit better. We don't do this on our studs. We only do it on the dangles. And every pair of my dangles that I wear over and over, and I'm not really good. I warn on our Etsy about resin and hair care products, but I'm not so good about the hairspray myself, so they withstand all of it. Sometimes I'll be blow drying my hair, straightening my hair, and do not pay attention to what's in my ears. Now I let that sit for a minute because with most of these type of gel top coats, they do kind of level themselves out. And as you can see, it just finishes it off, you know. And like I said, it's another barrier of safety in there. I see a bubble right there, but I think the top coat will help with that. These are a little bit softer than I'd like. This one is fine. So I'm going to get this pair finished up for you. And let me get out my ear wire imager rings. And get out what I need. I need nothing from there. As I've stated before, I am pretty serious about what I like for a combination of jump rings and what I like for sizes. I like movement in the earring. So I always use a 7mm at the, you know, at this part, you know, where the ear, in this part here, closest to the earring, where your mold shaped the thing. It creates a little bit more movement in the earring when you're wearing it. get out the ear wires. I am going to use some of these. I got these off Whatnot. They're a little bit larger. Ooh, they're very long. But they are stamped 925. Are they the same size? I got these off the bestseller on Whatnot, which I haven't been on Whatnot in months. They are shaped a little different. Let me try and find two that are more. Oh wow, these are all shaped differently. Guess what? I'm not using them. Not today, not till I go through and sort them out. They seem a little bit thinner than my usual too, which, as you know, I'm a Fire Mountain Gems. I like the 14 millimeter, super lightweight sterling silver ear wires. They are a nice sturdy ear wire, and I don't find that they tarnish quite as easily as some do. Okay. That's gonna fall over. So I'm gonna get these out. Now we have that perfectly coated back. Now we have to hope that the 7 millimeter is gonna work okay. It's very important when you're putting your ear wires together, you're using your tools, go easy on the metal. Take your time. Don't force the metal too much, because then you're gonna have a lot of tool marks. So take your time, go easy. Make sure when you put that next jump ring on, that's when you're gonna attach your ear wire. Make sure you have it going the right way so that the front is gonna be facing forward. And then just close it up. All right, I'm gonna get this one made, and then I'm gonna fast forward you while I do the rest. Whether that be tonight or in the morning, I'm not sure yet. And then we will reveal with, I may come back and show you each pair at the end, and then I'll show photos. I find that it works a little bit better that way. I like showing you how important finishing really makes your earrings and anything you make look. So for now, enjoy fast forward. What will take me probably hours, you'll get to see in minutes. However, I'm going to show you these really quick. Remember, Rolio pigments. It looks like it's going to work great in the UV resin, and you can choose to brush it on the mold, which gives you that more of a matte look. And this is much more textured, and it's shinier. But there you have it. There's the first pair done. See you in a bit. Okay, finally done. Now I have to add eye You will see on the time lapse a little bit of me trying to fix the X's. I tried to remake them twice and it didn't work out. And also my time lapse, my phone went dead halfway through, so it's a little bit different view through part of it. But I didn't want to waste these. I thought these were super cute with little heart cutouts. Here is our purple hearts, done 2 different ways. I forgot to show the demold of these. That is that peony color. And the new mold from Crafty. These ones are probably my favorite of today. They came out way cuter once I got the top coat on. And these came out really cool too. So it's very late. I am done for tonight. Tomorrow I will take pictures and I will finish this video up, get it edited, and get it posted. But I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget, we have discount codes for Let's Resin, Rolio, everything you've seen today besides, like, you know, the earring stuff and, you know, but as far as Rolio and Let's Resin, we do have a discount code for them. And I will link, we even have a discount code for Crafty 787 shop. So I'll be sure to link her. You know, that's all in the description. Thank you for watching. I hope in some way I've helped inspire you to try UV resin. It has a lot of uses and it makes the most beautiful earrings. And thanks for watching. Have a blessed day. Bye.